Hello and welcome to Rotted Reviews, and it is the 12th of December, which means we are rounding the corner on the halfway mark of the 4th annual Advent calendar of Christmas horror movies. And today I'd like to take a look at a movie that is a good example of never judging a book by its cover, the 2020 film Slade. Directed by 𝗘𝗾𝗂𝗶𝗽𝗺𝗺 and Mike 𝗘𝗾𝗂𝗶, this is currently available in the US on Tubi TV. And I gotta be honest, I just did not want to watch it. I was looking at the poster and nothing about it really appealed to me. It kind of seemed like just looking at the poster art that I was entering into the low-budget schlock that would be along the lines of the 12 Sleighs of Christmas, and I was just really not looking forward to repeating that experience. However, after having watched it, I am fully admitting that this was a pleasant surprise. Set at a water treatment plant in Harris County, Arizona, this movie takes place 5 years after the events of a Christmas Eve Santa slaying that happened at this water treatment plant, and 5 years later, they're still not really taking any chances. Before everybody leaves for the Christmas holiday, they're making sure that there's private security on board, that the gates are locked, all that stuff. This county does not want another incident like 5 years prior. And so the nature of this movie is an incident just like 5 years prior. Of course, the man in the Santa suit comes back, there's people killed, it's your fairly generic low-budget slasher movie. So why was I pleasantly surprised by this? Well, I think it kind of has to do with a lot of the little things. There was a tremendous amount of care and detail that was put into this movie, and I'm not going to say that it was the movie of the year or anything like that. I'm not even going to make the claims that this was terribly good, but it was a whole lot of fun. This was imbued with the Christmas spirit, and it was never really afraid to bring a wink and a smile to the camera. I think this was a movie that knew perfectly well exactly what it was and leaned into it hard. I've seen movies with 10 times the budget that this one had and churn out pap with 1/10 of the effort. The level of detail that it brought to any particular scene in terms of setting, character detail, blood and guts and gore and so forth was pretty remarkable. To give any indication where my mental state was at when I watched this, just 5 minutes into pressing play, I was kicking myself for not having watched it sooner. That's not to say that this was an entire bed of roses. I'm not going to be claiming that this is the hidden gem that I thought that 𝗘𝗾𝗄𝗃 was, but it was a lot more fun than I expected. The parts of this that didn't work have to kind of do with keeping the momentum going. This was able to establish a fair bit of energy through the characters and the storyline in the early parts of the film, and I'd be lying if I said that it was able to maintain that throughout. Some of the low moments are real lows, and a lot of the interaction that was going on between the characters were kind of the threats of the threats. A lot of the scenes were characters not necessarily running from the killer. It was more just kind of stumbling across the aftermath of one of his kills and then running away from the idea of the killer, which kind of made for some weird pacing moments, as well as wondering what the fuck these characters were actually trying to accomplish a lot of the time. But it was able to still maintain that fun tone throughout, and at a short runtime of 1 hour and 13 minutes, I found myself very decently entertained by this one. Like I said, I'm not going to call this one a great movie or even a good movie, but it was a good bad movie. And unlike a film like The Room, where it's just so bad that it's good and you have a lot of fun making fun of it, instead this one kind of invites you to have fun along with it. If you're somebody like me and looks at a piece of trash cinema and it still finds a way into your heart as long as it employs a little of its own, then I think you'll be pleasantly surprised by the 2020 movie Slade. Thank you so much for watching this video. I do hope you enjoyed it. Remember, next time you want to watch a horror movie, first make sure that it's good and rotted.